A very pleasant afternoon to everyone, to all the distinguished excellencies, delegates, participants, and partakers. I, Akanksha Singh, Senior Research Fellow at IMT Institute of Behavioral and Allied Sciences, embrace this opportunity to extend my warm wishes on behalf of Amity Center of Excellence for Positivity and Happiness, Amity University, Lucknow campus. It gives me immense warmth and great pleasure to grace all of your presence in the interest of the entire organizing committee to the pre-conference workshop on rhythms of mindfulness for being happy and well at the 3 days online international conference Parmanand, Philosophy, Psychology and Physiology of Happiness. Happiness is perhaps one of the most salient of human pursuits that entails experiencing the right emotions. Often, negative emotions clouds our happiness and well-being. Mindfulness tends to break the circuit of negative thinking and promotes gratitude, contentment, and well-being through appreciation and awareness of things around us. This workshop on rhythms of mindfulness for living happy and well would be augmented by Dr. Samdu Chhetri, former Executive Director, GNH Center, Bhutan, and consultant, Rekhi Center of Happiness, IIT Kharagpur, India. We have with us Dr. Ritu Tripathi Chakravarti, who is an educator working as Associate Professor in Amity Institute of Education, Amity University, Lucknow. With post-graduation in commerce, education and philosophy, and doctorate degree in education, she has more than 20 years of experience of academics and administration in school education and teacher education. Her area of specialization includes education for happiness, educational leadership, technology, quality in education, and mixed method research methodology. She has represented research paper in more than 150 national and international seminars, conferences, and workshops. She is also associated with national and international organization for content and module development, training and skill development of professionals. I would now like to welcome and invite Dr. Ritu Tripathi Chakravarti to take the session forward.
Thank you so much, Akanksha, and thanks so much nicely that you've initiated this session. And welcome, sir, to this virtual platform of Amity Center of Excellence. So I'm truly very happy and delighted to have you. And also, I understand that you have not been keeping well. Just to introduce to the esteemed gathering here, Dr. Samdu Chhetri, our pilgrim of love and compassion, was born in the cowsheds in the remote Bhutan. And after working for 25 years in the private and development sector and 5 years in his first democratically elected prime minister's office as head of good governance, he instituted the GNH Center as one of its founding members and headed for 5 years. In his 35 years of life working journey, he has been teaching, consulting, speaking at various international and national occasions on various topics, including the House of Commons in British Parliament, senators of the Philippines, among others, and dozens of universities and colleges in the world, including India. He has interviewed with many kinds of media and wrote 3 books, fourth which is in progress, with several contributions to many books. Between December 2017 and June 2022, he taught as a visiting faculty in Rekhi Center of Excellence for Science of Happiness, IIT Kharagpur, India. He is a recipient of Lord Buddha Peace 2016 from Samta Sahitya Academy, and he has reflected in 100 prominent people of modern Bhutan in the book by Dr. C.T. Dorji. He is nearly referred to as BBC as a happiness guru. I welcome you, sir, in this virtual conference of ACEPH, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow campus. And I must really say that you have been very humble and supporting to our conference. I request you to please share your experiences on mindfulness in form of a workshop for our esteemed participants and delegates which have gathered here from India and abroad. And please enlighten us. Sir, over to you. The session is yours now.
Thank you, Rituji. Thank you so much for this wonderful invitation that you extended to me. Let me share my screen before I begin.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, everyone, very, very good afternoon, good evening, good morning in whatever part of the world you are in. May I now invite all of you to sit comfortably on your chairs or wherever you're sitting. Make sure that your eyes are completely drooped or closed. Your feet is resting properly on the ground, parallel to the chair if you're sitting. Your hands resting in your inner lap or on your thighs, making sure that your shoulders are completely relaxed. And try to push in your chin slightly towards your chest so that your forehead is straight forward. With this, you just keep listening to me for a little while, and then we begin our session. So let's try to bring back ourselves to the present moment, because this is just after the lunch, and I know many of us are very tired because of eating. So shall we just call back ourselves, please? Body, mind, and thoughts, I bring them in perfect oneness and send my heart along with the sound of the bell to all those hearers to awaken from forgetfulness and transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow. Breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm also aware that I'm breathing out. As I continue to breathe in and out normally, I take my thoughts to my feet, wriggle my toes, feel the suppleness of my soles, raise my toes, feel the rotation of the ankle, feel the heels, feel my calf muscles, my knees, my thighs, and ask all the parts of my legs to be calm and comfortable. And I'm grateful to my legs for being there to carry me to the places of need, love, and desire. Helps me drive, cycle, run, play, climb. Without them, I would be lame. Thank you, legs. I bring my thoughts to my lower back, try to keep it calm and comfortable. If I'm feeling uneasy, I kind of adjust a bit. I take my thoughts to my shoulders that carry my body and give me a shape. I'm grateful to them. I bring my thoughts to my hands. Thank these wonderful limbs that help me carry, hold, embrace, shake hands, and play, ride, try, and more importantly, to give. I take my thoughts to my neck and try to adjust so that it's resting properly and relaxed. I take my thoughts to my internal part of the body and thank all those internal machines that help me in my metabolism to give me energy so that I can function properly. Take my thoughts to my head and thank the mind to keep me in peace and harmony. I take my thoughts to my heart and thank the heart for making me the person that I am. With this, I take my thoughts to my five senses and try to visualize what is in front of me, what is on my right, what is behind me, what is on my left. And I come back to my front visualization and take my thoughts to my nose and take the aroma of the room that I'm sitting around, my friends, my body, the room itself. I feel the gentle air breeze on my skin. I swallow my saliva and feel the taste from my tongue. I hear the sound of the fan, of the AC, and other things around, maybe the zooming of the car outside. And now I bring my thought to my breath and gently breathe in and say calm and peaceful. Slowly breathe out and say relaxed and happy. In breath, say my mind is calm and peaceful. Slowly breathe out and say my body is relaxed and happy. So in, calm and peaceful. Out, relaxed and happy. If your mind has floated away, gently remind the mind to come back to breathing in deeply, calm and peacefully. Breathe out slowly, relaxed and happy. Gently call back your mind to your body. Start to make movements on your chair. Begin to rub your palms. Put them against your closed eye. Continue to breathe in and breathe out. And gently open your eyes halfway. Hold it there for a little while. And when you are ready, you can completely open your eyes, filled with love and compassion. Thank you. So let's begin our rhythms of mindfulness. As the topic has already been introduced, I will not repeat on, but let's try to see their links between mindfulness and rhythms. We all know what rhythm means. It's a constant repeated beats or vibrations which have a frequency in space, which has time, and it constantly moves in the same space and time. All right, so that is what frequency is all about. And of course, we have in the music, the beat, the cadence, the tempo, pace, periodicity. These are words that we often use for our rhythms. And if you look into our own system of our body, we also have circadian rhythms in human beings. And that's why we say we have a biological clock, which means this is the circadian rhythms, the biological clock. And when we are not able to function according to the rhythms that we have set biologically in our body, then we begin to suffer. Why? Because the rhythms have changed. The rhythms are not according to what you have developed in your biological clock. Naturally, the clock has its own, naturally we human beings have our own clocks. But what happens with the environment and time, we have trained our subconscious mind to do things differently. Many go to bed around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. By that time, somebody who has really naturally followed the sequence would have gone into very, very deep slumber. And there are times when the melatonin starts to come into you and you start to lull so that you can get into deeper, better sleep. There are times when the blood shoots, starts to increase the pressure in your body. And that probably is the time early in the morning when you get up in the morning, especially after 6, the blood starts to the pressure starts to increase. And then there is time where there's very high blood pressure in the evening at 7, around 7, 6:37. And then, of course, these are the two times that if you get very angry, very frustrated, or highly stressed, because the blood is moving, it's on a very high pressure, temperature, and it can move into certain areas in the body and freeze you completely. And you could have brain hemorrhage, you could faint, you could collapse, you could have your heart stopped, have a heart attack. Anything is possible. And this is all happening. Why? Because we are not mindful. If we are mindful human being, we will try to conduct in such a way that our rhythm of our body will behave accordingly. Okay. So also we can talk about the inner rhythm with these 5 kosas, 5 seats of the body. The foot, the physical seat. Then you have the life force, the pranayam, and then you have manomaya, the mind. That gives you cognition. Then you have vidya, jnana, wisdom. See. Then you have anand, the bliss seat. The 5 seats, when they come together, you are in perfect harmony with yourself, with the environment around, with your dhyana, and you're going to get into samadhi. Now, when you are in deep dhyana, you become very mindful, because what are you trying to find in dhyana is either you're going into samadhi or you're trying to find something out of your meditation. Maybe you are in a problem, you want to find some solutions to a problem, or you have some emotions that always arise and give you problems, and that you work towards it to overcome it. And there are many practices that you can question your thoughts and you get an answer, question the answer, you get another answer. Until you have no answer, you keep on questioning that. Then at the end, you will either smile about it and feel very funny about it, or just let it go. And that thought will never kick back again, bothering you as it would have already. All right. So let's try to see from the personal and the ecological perspective what actually is the rhythms in this sense. So if we want to transform ourselves into this rhythmic being, then we really have to understand who we are, the egocentric human beings that we are. We know that we cannot exist without the nature out there, because The genes of all the animals, all the plants out there in nature is with us. We are made genetically by them. You know, right from mother's womb, a small little seed, 0.005-inch seed, grows into a baby in 9 months and is born. What is making that baby become a baby of that size? And today we are like on an average 50 trillion cells that we carry in each of our bodies. What made us to this size? Is the food that comes from the ground. The food is made up of minerals from the soil, the air, the rain, the sun, all elements are in there. You don't know probably that, you know, we are the useless species on planet Earth. We contribute nothing to the growth of the nature. But without somebody, we will lose our genesis. For example, of the 22,000 genes in a cow, 85% of their genes are with us in human beings. I don't know if you know, in the West, there is a cow therapy today. People who are very depressed, very anxious, they are taken to the cows and they just, what they do, they just hug the cow and there's a calming effect immediately. Why? Because the organisms that are in the animals, in the plants, in the water, that gets connected with us and we have a calming effect. This is the truth. But the ego makes us so very different. We think we are on the top of everyone. We think we are the best. And that takes us to become greedy, jealous, pride-filled, you know, all the negativities, all the negative emotions, the poisons of mind happen because we are so egoist. And that is because we also consider everything non-dualistically. We see everything outside of us. We do not consider ourselves as part of the whole. In this sequence, because of our negative emotions, we begin to destroy the planet Earth. The greed increases and everything increases with it, which we call the GDP world, the gross domestic or gross national product world. Because in this world, if there's too much of damage in a society, the GDP will grow. Standing trees have no value for GDP. The moment you turn them into furniture, the GDP will increase because timber then has a value. Furnitures have value, but standing tree have no value. And it does not consider the ecology, the ecosystem, the biodiversity that is there as a part of our existence. That's why GDP is a wrong measure altogether. And then we have the ecocentric human being. Human beings who have understood themselves that I am not separate from others. If I don't have that, I lose a part of myself. So that, you know, you become very ecocentric, you become a part of the whole, and you start to believe in that I am nobody without them. And then you start to consider, serve others, live in harmony with nature, become very loving without any strings attached. You know, you start to serve, take care of systems and things around us. And this is what we call the gross national happiness system. And in this, of course, we have to all the time rethink our choices. We always have choices. And which choice to take? Does that choice bring happiness to myself and others? Refuse. In many times, we need to refuse things. I know I have money when I go out into town and see something beautiful, I might like to buy, but I should refuse. And first thing I should say is ask, do I really need that? And if the answer is yes, ask the next question, what for? You'll have the full answer. Then you buy. Otherwise, you are promoting factory owners to produce more. And then the factory owners will pressurize the cotton grower to grow more cotton. And the BT cotton, 80% of clothes that we use is genetically modified chemicals that we use. So our one little action has a far-reaching consequences for the planet Earth and others around us. It's not only for the planet, it's all about ourselves, our family, our siblings, our friends, everyone is affected. Try to reduce your consumption. because often we see people with big self, and that big self is not required at all. Why? Because you start to eat so much um, that it's not out of greed, probably, it's out of the test that we take something totally wrong that is not required for our systems. So we have to learn these words, reuse, try to reuse things, refurbish. Before you throw it away, try to change and see how you can reuse, repair them, and repurpose. Something can be reused for something else, and try and learn to recycle. I'll have to rush a bit because I think we have a long way to go. So we need to practice mindfulness. For all this, we have to practice mindfulness. Unless we practice mindfulness, we'll never get into the rhythms of our system. And once we don't get into the rhythms, we bring unhappiness to others, and we bring also unhappiness to ourselves. The other thing is we need to, live in harmony with nature and be very, very mindful. We need to transform ourselves, shift ourselves from ego to ecosystems. Okay, so I just leave at that, just for understanding. It's a topic that I do totally for 1 hour, one teaching. All right. So, today mindfulness has become a billion or $1 trillion industry combined with yoga in the West. And mindfulness has gone from India. It used to be called as Samyak Smriti. Okay, that's mindfulness. Mindfulness, Buddha talked about 5 areas of mindfulness. Mindful breathing, you just breathe in and breathe out. Focus your complete mind in breathing in and breathing out. And the mind will float away. It will begin to wander. Then just invite the mind to come back and tell the mind, look, I am at the moment breathing in and out. Please come and join me in breathing. So continue breathing. It's a practice. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Don't be frustrated. Like one example I can quickly give you. I'm sure many of you drive, many of you ride cycle. How did you learn? Of course, you fell many times, but you had a passion to do it. So today you want to go from A to B, you just get onto the cycle and you begin to ride. You don't think need to paddle, I need to steer. You don't think. Your conscious mind is, looking out there, seeing people pass by, seeing car go by, seeing birds fly, you hear the sound and other things. But what makes you run? It's your subconscious mind. In the same way, once you have practiced, you will not be bothered by what you see around or you hear around, because you would begin to take care through your own systems, through your subconscious mind. And through this subconscious mind, you can actually, when you train your subconscious mind more, what happens is your conscious mind expands. Today, the neuroscientists, they talk about that we use, and the genetic scientists also talk about that we use only 5% of our total mind. 95% of our mind is used as through the subconscious. So if the subconscious has a bad store, then the perspective that comes, the cognitive biases that arises is out of that. And if we know that I have this, we can train our mind, and then our body will be. And you can enhance your conscious mind through, changing the wrong patterns in our subconscious mind. All right. So breathing is one. The second one is developing your concentration, your focus, or in the West they also call attending to attention. Here, what you need to do is many ways. Even in the breathing, you can use verses. Like I began a short mindfulness practice with breathing. I used a verse. Breathing in, you could say, I am calm. Breathing out, I am happy. If you keep on rehearsing that, what happens over a period of time is you become calm. That's what your mind has been talking, and that's what your body will bring you. And you will be very relaxed all the time, calm and relaxed. If you want to look very happy all the time, just say, breathing in, I'm happy. Breathing out, I'm calm or peaceful. Whatever you want to see, however you want the world to see you. That's what you can practice through just breathing, mindfulness breathing practice. In the concentration, there are several ways of concentrating. One is, you have a gazing meditation. You have either the candle to gaze on or some flowers to gaze on or something to gaze on for 30 seconds. Close your eyes and visualize in your mind what you exactly saw without making mistakes. If you make a mistake, open your eyes and get back to it. There's also numbers that you count to develop your concentration. You can just say 1, and then when you breathe in, say 1, and breathe out and visualize 1. Again, breathe in, say 2, visualize 2 as you breathe out. Now, when you can't do that, 3, 4, 5, you make a mistake, come back to 1. Continue that for 12, a number of 12 count. You also will develop your concentration. All right. You can have chanting, mantras. You can have short prayers, universal prayers, or self-nourishing prayers, self-affirmation prayers. All that is going to develop concentration, provided you know the meaning of the mantra. So when you know a mantra, like in the Buddhist word, you say, Om Mani Padme Hum. And if you know what it means, then your brain is translating that into the meaning when you pronounce that. And that's the belief that you will live with. That's the kind of world that you're going to see outside of yourself, your own friend. All right. There are a number of ways developing concentration, but these are the few ones that I just gave you quickly. By itself, there are classes, on each one of this. Now, the other one is awareness of body. I quickly ran through from the toe to head, but this awareness of the body can be done anytime. I would encourage rather all people sitting on the chairs every 2 hours to get up, make a short mindful movement, sit back and quickly touch your body, being grateful to your body. Very, very powerful. And do 1 minute of breathing in and breathing out. You'll be completely calm and fresh again. You'll be as fresh as you begin your work in the morning. You see? And I tell you, people might, when you're calm, people might see you slow. But mind you, in that slowness, the work that you do is double of what others would do. You will do much more better work, much more quality work, and much more than what you generally do when you're calm. You might look slow, mind you, but the work that you do is much, much more. All right, so the awareness of the body, one of the greatest benefits is if you have a sleeping problem, insomnia, when you sleep on the bed, start visiting from your toe, wriggle your toes, give an attribute to your toe. Say, thank you, toes. Without you, my movement of feet would have been difficult. Please relax and be calm. Then the next you say is thank you. Then the last words you use is, my eyes are getting heavier, I'm falling asleep. Come next to your souls. Say, thank you, souls, for being there, for your suppleness. You've been with me since the time I stood on you. Please relax and calm down. You are so great. I'm grateful to you. My eyes are getting heavier. I'm falling asleep. Get to your anchor, get to your toe. Continue doing this. By the time when you touch this way, awareness, by the time you're midway on your body, you would have fallen deep, deep asleep. All right, these are some of the practices. And this practice can be done anywhere, anytime, but sleeping would be one of the greatest practice that somebody can do. The quality of your sleep tomorrow when you wake up will be in many fold much, much better than other days. You'll be very refreshed and rejuvenated. Releasing tension. Often, when you are driving through and you're a little late, suddenly there's a traffic light and you get irritated, oh God, what happened? If I was a second earlier, I could have crossed it, I could have been in time. By fretting, you're not going to change anything. Rather say, oh God, thank you for giving this pleasant movement of few seconds. Breathe in and breathe out. You connect with your body, release your tension. And if you are very stressed and in big tension and you don't know what to do, not in traffic, elsewhere, then all you do is take deep breaths in and throw it from the mouth, 3 times, maximum 5 times. Even this deep breath through the nose and, throwing from the mouth can also help you get out of addiction. If you are a smoker, if you are some kind of, you have addictions, the moment the urge comes, you just do that 5 times. The urge will go. It will come back again. Do it again and again. It will all be gone within no time. 5 days after that, the urge is gone. And never repeat again that habit. You will be a better off human being. Mindful walking, that's something that you can do all the time. You are walking all the time from in the morning, from in your house to going back to bed, we are walking also. So when we do walking, try to focus not far away. Try to, if you're outside, focus not further than 20 feet away, and try to see things as they pass without judgment. Be there, present, feel every step that you take as if you're kissing Mother Earth. If you're moving within the room, try to also see what things pass by, where things are, becoming aware but without judging. Try to feel that the touch of the feet on the ground, feel that you are really making a loving touch, loving kindness, kind of gratitude to Mother Earth, kissing Mother Earth with your feet. Okay, this is some practice on mindfulness. Like I said, it takes many days to practice same thing, but somewhere we need to begin. Again, coming back to the benefits of mindfulness, we know there are many research done by Harvard, Yale, Oxford, you name it, Cambridge, all of them have done different research. Dr. Blackburn has done, David has done, many, you can name so many great people who have done research in our mind, in our brains and our genes. They have been done so many times. Now there are, the induction program in the West, in many universities and in Australia, for 8 weeks, the students have to go through mindfulness training, because they have tasted and found out that with mindfulness, the reptilian nature of your brain, the amygdala size reduces, giving away all the negative formations of our mind, reducing that almost completely. All right. So that gives us a great avenue of trying to control our emotions, making it very, very positive rather than having it negative. All right. So our health improves definitely, because there is this creatinine chemical or produced in our genes, I believe, that actually helps extend our tips of the telomere. Now, the tips of the telomere, if you sleep less than 8 hours, they die. See, again, the circadian rhythms we talk about. You eat wrong food, they also die. You are not a loving human being. It also reduces. You're not serving others, it reduces. You're not compassionate, it reduces. And you are not grateful, because you don't know that you are a part of independent and interdependence, and therefore you're not grateful. And that too kills your tips of your telomere. When the tips of telomere are dying slowly, what happens is when the new cells are produced, they become shorter and shorter. And over the period of time, in fact, there's a beautiful book, I believe, called The Biology of Beliefs by Dr. Lifton. You must read this. I've heard about it. But what I bring to you is not through them, is more from the learnings of what Buddha taught 2,522 years ago. Okay, so when you do these 3 things, you sleep well, you eat well, and you serve others, be grateful, give love, unconditional love for everything, and live in harmony with nature and be compassionate. You will live longer, you will age slower, you will become mindful, and your health will be overriding all the time. your focus will increase, your positivity will naturally increase, and of course, you'll always remain young. There's another research that was done by Harvard that they brought in 75-year-old people who have been meditating for a long time, 25-year-old people. They measured their brains to find the functional exactly the same. They kept the same group of 25-year-old boys and brought the 75-year-old men who never meditated, and they found this lot of holes had formed in their mind. They were jittery, forgetful, they didn't believe in themselves, they were no more sure of anything. All right, friends. So all the good reasons why we need to be mindful, why we need to meditate, why we need to prepare ourselves to live in the rhythms of our life so that we can be well and happy always. Before we break into workshop, I still have these few explanations to make. Then my workshop will be that I will take you through different areas. These are the 4 areas that I will take you through today: relationship, integrity, compassion, and humanity. We'll do a short meditation or mindful practice on each of them, and then we will break into question answer session, or rather the workshop. We'll break the team into group and we will try to find, we have very short limited time. Within this time, we'll try to do something. Now, this is a picture on the right, the white, that I picked up from TED Talk. And if you ask, the Einstein said, everything on this planet is in vibration. Nothing is still, nothing is by itself. Everything is vibrating. Okay? And quantum physics, even today, proves that more and more again. And so when our vibration, when our rhythm of our body is at the very low, then it is shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, greed, pride, anger. All these are on a very, very, very low rhythm of our existence. When we are at the level of willingness to listen, willingness to understand, then we are kind of in go-between to get into a better self. When you are willing, then there is an acceptance to listen, to understand, then you begin to reason. After that, the first level of very high frequency at 500 hertz per second is love. You see, love is at that. Beyond love is joy at 540 hertz, and at 600 in peace, and over 700 is your enlightenment. This is what the quantum physics talks about. As you can see on the picture, okay? The higher the frequency that we can live, the higher the rhythm in our body, the higher the mindfulness that we carry, the better the health systems that we have, the happier we become, the better we become. So this is on one side. Now, my belief is that love is the basis of everything. Buddha said that love is the only one thing that is a bridge between anything and everything. We can only connect with one another, and that is love. And to me, if we have these 4 pillars on love, and love for me means live on values every day. So it's nothing more. Of course, unconditional love happens when I'm looking at you, I'm sending my love. That love happens to be with your values, right? So if you live on values every day, you're going to bring this love naturally onto others. And so I talk about 4 areas of, or 4 pillars of love. On these 4 pillars of love is the roof. So the roof stands on these 4 pillars, and therefore, let's start to take this one by one. Okay, so this will come under our meditation. So I just try to also bring the 4 immeasurable virtues. That is the joy, or metta, equanimity, in integrity, compassion, karuna, and in humanity, Maitri, loving kindness. So let's get into each of this, because if we can live on values every day and keep these four pillars as our values every day, we will get into mindfulness, we will be happy, and we'll always be trusted and belonging in the rhythms of whether it is eco or interdependence or Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. All right. So let's get into the first pillar, relationship. What does it really mean, relationship? We know that Harvard did 75-year-old study to prove that everything that matters is relationship, deep and meaningful relationships for happiness, right? We can keep on talking so many things on happiness. So we have the inner relationship with ourselves. Like if you see this circadian time, if we disbalance one of the relations, our functions of the systems will not happen. For example, if you go to bed at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, your function of the liver, that is to cleanse your blood, that day it will not happen unless you have created a new biological order. Your kidney starts to flush all the unrequired thing in your body between 5 and 7. Now, during that time, you are doing something else. If you are in good, if you're doing exercise, that's a good time, actually, a good time for exercise. But if you're sleeping, then the functions are changing all the time, all right? The outer relation that we talk about is me and others, me and nature. What is our relationship ourselves? Like, we can never be ourselves without water, without air, without earth, without sun, without a pen, without pencil, without the computer, without the gadgets that we live today with. So our relationship with others also matter. Material things and non-material things. We live in interdependence. We cannot be ourselves without something without in the interdependence. All right. So let's just try to get into a mindfulness practice again. First, I'll not talk about the sitting importance, but mind you that for mindful breathers for a long period of time, if you want to do it for, let's say 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour, then you have to have the right posture. And in the screen, I had shown in the beginning, what is the right posture. You can, Dr. Ritu has the slides, you can all take it and try and learn this. I will not repeat, but posture is so important so that you are in complete harmony with your own body so that you can be mindful. Now let's get into the posture so that let's have our feet grounded properly, our hands resting on our inner lap. You could also do like this with your fingers crossed, thumbs joined together, or you can have your one hand below the other, one palm below the other, joining your thumbs, or you can have them on your thighs with different mudras according to what you like. They have different meanings for doing so. Never mind. The whole idea is that, and if you're sitting on a higher position, try and cross your ankles. Why do we cross them, our hands like this? Is because we have two parts of the brain, the left and the right, the cognitive and the emotional. When we join our hands together, we are joining two brains and making them come together to a calming effect. The whole idea is this. So when you sit on the with a cross leg or in a pranama, in a padmasana, you are doing the same connection. So sitting on the chair, you are disconnecting, but at least you can connect with your hands, if not with your legs. But if you can connect with both, all the best. If you're sitting even on a chair, you can cross your ankles, but make sure that your feet is not stiff or uneasy. It has to be resting on your toes, but need to be very, very comfortable. All right. So let's get into the posture now. On a call of a bell, please get into the posture. Eyes droop down completely or closed. Your chin slightly tucked in. Try to touch your tongue with the upper palate teeth not biting, lips closed, and just listen to me, okay? Imagine that you're sitting outside of your beautiful home, overlooking into the nature. You see the bright, beautiful nature out there. You begin to wonder, who is this nature? Who am I? Suddenly you realize that your body is from the food that's produced by Mother Earth. The sun, the rain, the wind has all helped to prepare these crops onto the ground. The earth has also given us permission to walk on her, to live on her. And suddenly, there's so much of gratitude that flows out to the Mother Earth. And I thank Mother Earth for being there for me. Without you, Mother, I would not be alive on this planet. Thank you for being there for me. I take my thoughts to the beautiful air that's blowing through my skin, touching the hearts of thousands and millions around, brushing across the trees and leaves, oceans, and giving me energy filled with love and compassion. Thank you, wind. Thank you, air, for being there for me. When I'm thirsty, I drink water. 75% of my body is filled with water. I'm grateful for water, without which I cannot be existing. And all others out there in nature will also not be existing. I'm absolutely grateful. I'm consciously aware that I can be grateful, unlike maybe other plants and animals. My gratitude to oceans, because from whom we get the rain. Rain becomes the drinking water underground, streams, rivers. And nobody without. I'm grateful to the sun for giving me the light and the energy. I'm grateful for it that helps rejuvenate the earth. I'm grateful to Mother Earth and the sky that covers her, gives me the glimpses of the wonders of the world, and covers us as a roof over our head. I'm really grateful to each and every one in the nature whose genesis are with me, and I'm because of them. I'm not because of myself. I do not create anything, but they create me. So I'm grateful to the plants, animals, insects, to all walks of life on earth and in waters. My gratitude to all of you. I continue to breathe in and breathe out and bring happiness to myself and an understanding that I am nobody without them. My gratitude. I now slowly open my eyes, make movements on my chair, and slowly bring back myself to be myself. I begin to open my eyes halfway. I hold it there for a little while. And when I'm ready, I open completely, filled with love and compassion. All right, friends, what we could do is now the following. Why don't we try to answer these questions? Sorry. Maybe why don't you divide into groups? I don't know if that is, I didn't ask them. There should be a possibility of breaking into groups and doing things, or not to lose time, we don't have time, another half an hour. So the best might be if each one of you come up with some kind of answers to it, sharing. I'll not comment on your answers. You just give an answer and, others would listen and they would either give you feedback or, or put a comment forward. But we will not argue on anything. Shall we do that? Hello?
Yes, sir. There was some problem at the end. Yes, sir. We can have the questions or the answers at the chat box. And if you want out, if anybody is raising his hand, we can ask them to unmute and share their answer. Because it is difficult for them, for us to make them into the break rooms or
Yeah, just let's spend another 5 minutes max, because I don't have time. I have three
how do you
more
want to
slides to
conduct
go,
this session?
4 more slides to go.
So your voice is not. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, can we just spend 5 minutes on trying to answer these questions?
Acha, this participants can write in the chat box.
No, I think if they can open their
Mic.
mic and then speak out,
Okay.
I will not comment, I will not say anything, but among yourself, So how do you feel in your body and mind when you do the gratitude meditation, mindfulness?
Right. Okay. The participants, you may raise your hand. We'll try to, if you have any answer, you can unmute yourself and tell the answer. Yes, sir, we can go ahead.
Or shall I just continue the process and ask them to reflect on this?
Every one of you share your experience. Share your experience. Everyone has to very much. Please share your experiences, what you have been learning.
If you can just share your experiences, quickly, 1 or 2, and then we'll proceed to the next, because time is very limited. You see, gratitude is a very, very important part of our mindfulness, because if we are never grateful, then we will never see things the way that it exists. We'll always have dualistic perspective. We'll always have delusion. We will never clarify values, because we believe to be, this is where we become very egocentric. And gratitude brings us to be humble. And Einstein said, if you are humble and modest in your life, you can be the happiest person, as opposed to running for success and all the problems that associate and come with success. So in the same way, if we are grateful, then you should do a practice of writing gratitude notes. What are you grateful for and why? and don't try to repeat, and do this for months together and see how you will transform yourself. Because suddenly you realize you're nobody actually without a, a cup. Without a cup, you drink tea, as simple as that. So gratitude is a very, very powerful mechanism to bring back to the reality, home, the reality of who you are. All right, any sharings? Otherwise, we just go to the next slide.
Sir, I feel very light in my body after doing this. And I feel mindfulness is one part which is helpful in so many areas. So I would like to add this mindfulness meditation in my daily life.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you.
Sir, I would like to share.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
While I was doing this mindful meditation, and when you said, think of the trees, think of the ocean and everything, ev- uh, nature is around us. I don't know why we are running for the things, materialistic things. So little is required. And we have all these things here, but we are never mindful of all the things which we already have. We are running. I was thinking all these things when I was doing this meditation. I should be grateful to the flower which is there around me, the leaves, the fruits, the beautiful road where I drive and come to the campus. So these are the things which is really we should be grateful. And if we start enjoying, really, I really enjoy the ride when I come, start from my home to university, seeing the greenery and all those things. So these are the small, small things. If we start appreciating, I think the run which we are into, this race we are into, that would stop and will start appreciating and investing in the relationship. These things are going in my mind when I was listening to you, Kambi. Thank you so much, sir, for making me again realize the importance of being simple and humble. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So we'll proceed with the next one. Thank you for your sharings. Please make sure that you become mindful. And, there is, if the time permits, I can tell you what you can do in the morning as you get up. All right, the second pillar on love is integrity. Integrity is not something that you do right, doing right or doing things right or things right, it's much more than this. We can never be integrated if we don't live with our own words. Even for my own self, if I said, I'll get up at 3 in the morning, and you say, oh, today is Sunday, let me wake up at 7 in the morning, then you are not integrated. So integrity is not only about your work for others or for a company, doing things right or doing right things. It's not that. It is about also being non-dualistic, about trying to see things as they are. Like, for example, if you see, a dirty person on the street or a manhole cleaner filled, covered with toilet, probably you'll run away from that. Okay, but if that person is painted and brought into a painting hall, you'll appreciate that same painting as opposed to what you physically see as a person. Why? Because there you were seeing as a painter. In other words, you're seeing from your perspective, not from the reality. So unless and until you try to see things from becoming real, you will always be diverged into different aspects of our existence. So we have to learn to see things as they are. And to do that, and to believe in that, we have to be very mindful. For example, when you are mindful, when you're integrated, what happens is that within your role, there may be work that is not really a part of you, but you will be surprised because of your mindfulness, you would naturally do as in the same fold, although it's not written as a part of your work. So this helps only when you are in integrity, that you consider this is my job, and I only do this, not touch a part of it, then probably what you're doing is you're putting everything in jeopardy, in problem. Okay. So let's try to do a short mindfulness again on this. I just will give you an example of a painter. Can we go back into mindfulness again, position? Please sit with your feet grounded, hands resting properly, eyes drooped or closed completely, your chin slightly tucked in so your face is straight, your tongue touching the upper palate, your mouth closed, lips closed, teeth not biting. And your hands, wherever you put, your shoulders must be completely relaxed. Just be in that position and continue to breathe in, breathe out. You feel calm. Imagine that you are a painter. You have been asked by a very rich man to come and paint his boat. He lives by the lake, and far ahead of the lake, it joins with the ocean. The painter comes and sees the boat docked, does the painting on a Thursday, and goes home. The owner has gone for an errand far away. He has 3 children, and these children come home only on the weekends, on Saturdays. This time, it so happened that Saturday being a special function in another part of the town, the school announced it to be closed and let the hostel students who have their homes nearby let go on Friday evening. These 3 kids, a young boy of 16 years old, a young girl of 13 years old, and a boy of 9-year-old, 3 siblings, they come home to find that dad is not at home. They throw the bags in the rooms, the workers have been laid off, there's nobody around. Because the father never thought the children would come home that early. And he's not there, he's gone for an errand on Thursday, supposed to return late in the evening that day. Children see the painted new boat and they go out to the boat and push the boat into the lake and go boating. The father returns and enters the home, realizes the bags are thrown all around, and realizes the children have come home. Comes out calling them, doesn't find anybody, doesn't hear anyone, and suddenly sees the boat is not there. Suddenly he starts to wail, cry. He goes by the beach of the lake and is desperate about the children. He's crying, he's wailing, he's weeping. And he loses all the hopes. Totally tired, he's just lying there on the sand. Suddenly he sees a glimpse of boat coming far away and doesn't believe his eyes. He jumps onto the feet, moves around, pinches himself, but still he doesn't believe until the boat arrives there. Children jump down from the boat, say, "Hi, Dad," but he's not bothered about them. He runs to the board and peeps in an area, then tells the children, "Behold, I'll come back," and runs to the painter with a checkbook and throws the checkbook in front of the painter and says, "Fill the amount that you want. Any amount that you want." Painter says, "I have already been paid by you in advance, more than what the cost of painting." He says, "No, take it. I'm so grateful you saved my children," because there was a hole in the boat. And the painter decided that if he paints over and a mechanic comes or a carpenter comes and patches, he's going to dent the color. So because he knew how to do it, he did it and painted over it. It was not his duty. Look at the integrity of this person. And he doesn't want extra for it. And so the owner, the rich man, was so grateful that he took care of his family and children for their education rest of their life. This is the story of the painter, and we can be mindful only when we live in integrity. There can be good rhythms when we are mindful. Look at how happy the family then finally resides. If the hole was not patched, what would have happened? Let's be grateful to this painter and gently make movements on the chair. And rub our palms again against our eyes. Hold our eyes half open for a little while. And when we are ready, we open our eyes filled with love and compassion. Okay, friends, again, the same thing. I have two questions. If you have any feeling or anything to share, please share. What did you feel versus how do you feel? When can this be used? This kind of ethical decisions that one needs to make as an integrated person. So the floor is open for your comments, for your thoughts, for your sharing. Hello.
Anybody? Yes, please. Anyone has any sharing? Can write in the chat box. Can open up the camera and say. Yes, you want to say something?
If not, we'll move to the next. Shall we move to the next?
Yes, I think so, sir. I think
Okay.
everybody is into the deep thinking.
Sorry, I mean, too many things that I tried to cook in. All right, so compassion is a third pillar. Remember, love, live on values every day has 4 pillars. So we just talked about 2. The third pillar is compassion. Compassion is much higher than empathy. When you're empathic, what happens is you feel the pain of that person who is suffering and you suffer yourself. There are many husbands who suffer like their wives when they're delivering because they are so empathic. Now, when you are an empathic person, it's just a very good character, it's a very good personality to have empathy. But if you can add not to suffer in that empathy, but become compassionate, that means, either through your mind or your physical self, you help that suffering person. That's compassion. So empathy plus the action that you take to help the person who is suffering is compassion. So it's very, very one of the very important areas for if we want to live longer, is slower. We need to be compassionate. We need to serve others. We need to live in harmony with nature and love unconditionally and be grateful. These practices, if we do, we will be calmer, we will be aging slower, and we'll also live longer. All right. So let's try to do another mindfulness meditation or mindfulness practice called the loving kindness. I would again request you to sit in the mindful posture, comfortably with your legs grounded. If you're sitting on the floor, of course, in a cross-legged, put your hands resting in proper place so that you feel your shoulders feel completely relaxed, your lower back is erect, your chin is slightly tucked in, your tongue touching the upper palate, your lips not closed, teeth not biting, eyes completely drooped or closed. Now think that you are sitting very calmly overlooking the western horizon, where you see beautiful colors thrown into the sky as you breathe in, breathe out. Feeling calmer and in more peace. The setting sun has thrown such miraculous, such splendid colors of rain, orange, blue, indigo, varieties. Looks very mesmerized, panoramic. When you're watching that and breathing in slowly, deeply, breathing out slowly, calmly, you send loving kindness to a little baby sleeping on the lap of a mother. And that baby is you. You are a little baby sleeping on the lap of the mother, very helpless, looking at the mother with so much of regard, so much of love, so much of respect, so much of confidence. Mother being the world. May you be happy for addressing the child. May you be free from fear. May you be free from any suffering. May you be successful in life when you grow up. May you be in harmony. May you be loved and taken care of. May you be happy and well. That little baby in you who has slowly grown over time, children, schoolgoers, they whatever positions you are in, whatever you're doing, think about you today and send loving kindness to yourself. Hold your arms on the two sides of the shoulders, cross them like harmony. And send the loving kindness to yourself. You will be happy and you will be feeling fulfilled life. You will be mindful. May you be respected. May you be loved and cared. May you bring happiness to the lives you touch. May you be the light for yourself, your family, your friends, your community, your country, your world. May you be happy and well. Feeling very calm and peaceful as you are. Now you fast forward your life and see that you're being journey to come home. You are on sticks, walking on sticks, feeling unsure of, all by yourself, all your loved ones are fallen. Send this loving kindness to the only person in you. May you be happy and well. May you be free from fear and any suffering. May you live in peace and harmony. May others love you unconditionally. May you be taken care of in your own way. May you be happy and well. May you accept the journey of life. You can gently make movements on the chair, bring back your body in line with your body. Start to rub your palms, put them against your closed eyes, and gently open your eyes. Hold it halfway for 1-2 breaths, and slowly and completely you can open your eyes, filled with love and compassion. Okay, here are again 2 questions. If you just can reflect on them. What I want to tell you is through mindfulness, we can actually bring to life many things. We can take care of our health. We can become mindful and cure even a lot of ailments in our body. Many things can be done through mindfulness practices. And mindful, I didn't add the word meditation. This is mindful meditation. But the meditation that may be misunderstood is not the dhyana, not the samadhi. That's far beyond what we're talking about. And in this mindful meditation, we can visualize things. We can bring them, we can send our energy, that even even if I'm a small person, what Bruce Lipton talks about, yeah, every cell, human cell is 50 trillion cells. Every cell has 1.5 volt energy. Multiply that with 50 trillion, we have 52 trillion volt of energy, equivalent energy, each one of us. So when you visualize, when you bring somebody in your mind, for example, if some of you might be students, if you're living away from home, bring your mom or whoever you love the most in your mind and in a form that you like the most. And then send her a message. Say, Mom, I love you. Mom, how are you? Mom, I miss you. Mom, send a message repeatedly. In no time, she will call you. Are you all right? Is everything okay? But she will feel. That's the amount of energy we have. If we can use our energy for positive things, we can create positivity wherever we move. Right? So it's not something abstract. One of the greatest quantum physicists is an astronomer also, Professor Richard Von Henry from the Stanford University, wrote in the journal called Nature, the highest scientific journal called Nature. And the title of his article was The Mental Universe. And you know what he concluded with? His last sentence, exactly I'm going to quote. He wrote, the universe is immaterial, mind you. The universe is immaterial, dash, mental, spiritual, stop. Live and enjoy, stop. Of course, this doesn't mean we live the way we like and enjoy, no. We need to be very careful. We need to moderate our life very, very mindfully, okay? All right, so any comments here? We are almost in time. We are almost finishing also. Give me another 5-6 minutes and we're done. Any thoughts on this? All right, everyone seems to be tired. We'll go to the next now.
So
Okay, I
someone
will
has
not.
written,
Sorry.
someone has written in the chat box, yes,
Okay.
because as a human being, we should reflect and act accordingly on the basis of higher consciousness because we all coexist. Answer for kindness. This is what
Thank you.
somebody.
Thank you so much. All right, so humanity, I'll just quickly tell you a story. I thought we'll also do, a generosity mindfulness, but I don't think we have time. So what is humanity? Just to explain, humanity is not something abstract. It is when you share and care, then you are a human being. When you feel for others and you forget about your status, you go out to help a person. That's humanity. Serving, taking care of others, sharing, this is humanity. So in 2016, when I was invited by British Parliament to give a talk on GNH, from Delhi, when I took the flight to Heathrow, the first general announcement that came on the board was, if you contributed £1, you will feed a hungry and poor child in remote England. And I didn't believe. I thought, England? No, I wrongly heard. So I fished out of the seat pocket to read exactly the same. Then I thought, wow, England had such a big empire that no sunset, it was so huge an empire. Now England is begging. Why? Then this thought, and then when I was talking to the British Parliament, I suddenly realized that people have forgotten to, share and care. I reflected my own country, a little country, Bhutan. We don't have, we don't beg for children, cold and hungry children. If there's a cold and hungry children lying on the street, the first job of a Bhutanese is to take care of that child until you find a solution, until you put that child into systemic solutions. This is still alive in Bhutan, and touch wood, I hope it will continue to be so. So suddenly I felt very rich. Comparing the British wealth with my Bhutan wealth, I couldn't be even a small 1 millionth part of it. But I felt so rich suddenly that was still with share and share. And in most of our part of the world, we only hold and we don't share because we think we need to keep. And I have so many examples. In Tripoli Court in Kolkata in 1988, I've seen an elderly lady die, for a week. Nobody knew. And when the room started to smell, we broke into her flat to see she was there. Her daughter was married in England, settled there. Son was in US, settled there. You see, I mean, this is the reality that we all live. And I know there are many people, rich people who have flats everywhere. Children are nowhere near. I don't know if that's the life we should all live, but greed has taken over us completely. We have forgotten to take care and share with others. And so we are never generous. Rather, we are so greedy. When I talked about it, one of the British parliamentarians got up and said, "Sir, if I don't save and build a house and money, what would my children live on?" And I said, "Can you please give me in writing that all you have built and made today, your children are going to live on it? And I'll give you a rebuttal in writing that they will not live in the house you have built and the money that you have spent. They will not enjoy." And he looked at me for a little while and sat down. I mean, let's think about our own self. What parents made, what they keep. How useful was it for us now? Where are we today? Are we following them? Time has changed. Circumstances have changed. Everything is empowerment. Everything is changing. So let us not hold. Let us be human. Try and share with others and create ourselves as true human beings. All right, with this, I will not do the generosity mindfulness practice. Would have been lovely, but no time. I'll go to my second last slide. And then we'll sing a song and then we'll say bye. Okay, so the 5 wishes of people at the end of their life, regrets, rather is their regrets. So how can we change this with our mindful rhythms so that we don't have this regret at the end of our lifetime? All right. One of the big regret that they have is, I wish I had not worked so hard. This is the one regret that they say, because they didn't have time for themselves. They're working for whom? For thinking of children and others, and not even looking after your own body and self. So one of the regrets, and this is from hundreds of thousands of studies that's done by all the dying people have this to say. I wish I hadn't worked hard, had given more time to myself. The second regret that they have is, I wish I had spent more time with my loved one, with my families. No time now. You are on the deathbed. The third regret that they have always is, I wish I would need to have pushed that thing. I wish I would have done it. I kept it for tomorrow. And that tomorrow never came. And that could have been your passion, which you have deterred from your own life. And of course, it doesn't bring us happiness. They also say, I wish I would have forgiven that person. You see, so forgiving is so very important. Learn to forgive self and forgive others. I know it is, people say it's very difficult. It's just a practice. If you don't forgive, you will remain with that hatred, dislike, anger, jealousy, whatever, all the emotions will lead on to you. And your mind, beautiful mind, will be preoccupied with something that is not necessary at all. Instead, download that, let it go. And to download, it is to let it go. To let it go is to forgive. They also say, I wish I would have said sorry to that person. Because of their pride, they could not be humble, and therefore they could not, say sorry. And because of that fact, they are now on the deathbed. They cannot say sorry because the person is in there. Of course, through their mind they can, but they would have become old and weak. Even they can't think of visualizing to send their forgiveness, to send their thanksgiving to me. So my question here for all of you is, in the next 3 months, what changes will you make for yourself and how? So that you don't come with this regret at the end of the lifetime. Okay, these 5 regrets, please try and remember and try to put in your daily life one resolve, what you're going to do today. So think about yesterday on your bed before you jump out of the bed. Think of yesterday, how your day passed by. Think of tomorrow, how it's going to pass. And what are you going to bring new for tomorrow? What if you made something emergency, some odd people, all that? Plan in your mind. You'll find the journey very, very easy. Then you do a resolve. Tomorrow I will not do this, or do it in the morning. So it's today. Today I will be calm and peaceful through the day. And you do 3 minutes of breathing in and breathing out exercise. And in there, you can send loving kindness to one. You can send some messages to others, forgiveness to others, you can say sorry to others. You will all be hearing them. All right, with this, I end. But I will not stop here. I'll have to sing this happiness song for all of you, and you'll follow me. So first, here is me wishing you Tashi Dilek, meaning may all the auspiciousness come in your life. May you always be happy and well. May you bring happiness to the lives you touch. May you be happy in whatever you do. May you be the light for yourself so you can light the way for everybody around you, your community, your family, your country, and the world. With this, I come to the end. I'll sing a line and then wait 2 seconds, knowing that you are following me. Okay.
Abdul.
Happiness is here and now. Come on.
Happiness is here and now. I request
I
everyone
have
to speak.
dropped my worries.
I have dropped my worries.
Nowhere to go, nothing to do.
Nowhere to go, nothing to do.
And I'm not in a hurry.
And I'm not in a hurry.
Happiness is here and now.
Happiness is here and now.
I have dropped my worries.
I have dropped my worries.
Somewhere to go, something to do.
Somewhere to go, something to do.
But I'm not in a hurry.
But I'm not in a hurry.
Thank you so much. This song is for the mind to be present here and now.
Sir, thank you so much. It was
Thank you.
amazing, wonderful session. I just remember the day when we were thinking of what topic we should be doing for this workshop, and rhythms of mind suddenly came to your mind. I could never imagine how beautifully it would be coming up today. So really, thank you so much. I hope everybody here must have enjoyed this session and are now thinking what they're doing in their daily life. Mindfulness is one such practice to be happy and to generate happiness around. Everyone is here clapping for you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now I would request Dr. Ritu Tripathi Chakravarti for felicitation of Dr. Samdu Chetri with a certificate of appreciation as a token of gratitude on behalf of entire Amity family. Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful session.
Sir, a small token of love from us to you, sir. Please
Thank you.
accept it. Thank you so much.
I accept with my humility.
So
and
we shall
thank
be
you so
sharing
much.
it via mail also, the certificate. But
Thank
thank you so much. And we are indeed very delighted to have you in this international conference and the workshop.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. I'm blessed. Thank you.
सर मुझे भी गाना याद आ रहा है थोड़ा है थोड़ी की जरूरत है
हाँ सही बात है.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. Participants, anything you have to say, or you can write in the chat box also. So thank you so much for being here, and we are in contact, and we will be in contact.
I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Samdu Chetri for his insightful deliberation on exploration into the paths of mindfulness for living a happy and contented life. I express my gratitude to Dr. Ritu Tripathi Chakravarti for moderating the session. I extend my deep sense of gratitude to the technical team for lending all their support throughout the session. This conference would not be possible without them. Special thanks to students of organizing team for being the support system of this conference to make it successful. And also the participants who have had been in the session for us from the starting since last. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Namaste. Sir. Yes, dear participants, we'll be meeting at 5:30 for the another workshop. Please do join in. Yes, the feedback form is there in the chat box. Kindly give the feedback form. Thank you so much. Arvindji, we can close this meeting after 5 minutes.
No, ma'am, just pausing the session. You can join. Link is open. You can join the session.
Yeah, okay. Because the
Thank you.
participants have to give the feedback form, so that's why we are asking not to close this.
I'm not closing right now session, ma'am.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Bye
much.
bye.
Namaste, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.